It's not often when you get the opportunity to absolutely crush your competition, to just take leaps and bounds in front of them and ultimately not even just beat them at their own game, but beat them before they even realize what's happening. And that's the kind of thing that is happening currently right now on social media in the sports industry. Now, this video specifically is going to be going over how teams and properties, maybe even agencies as well, can best optimize their content to generate more revenue from their brand sponsorship partners. If you're a brand watching this, in the same way, you can take this strategy back to the teams that you're already working with and the people you have good relationships with and execute it. But as I said at the beginning of this video, once in a lifetime opportunity. And before I tell you specifically the X's and O's of that opportunity, I want you to understand it this way. Right now, would you say that your doom scrolling is more efficient or less efficient depending on the platform? I'll give you an example. If you go doom scroll TikTok and Instagram, and then you go doom scroll Netflix, which one do you typically have more productivity or entertainment from? It's probably Netflix. The reason for that is that Netflix's algorithm, yes, both platforms I just named, all three platforms I just named, have algorithms, but Netflix specifically is built on episodic content. It's built off of series. It's built off of opening up a loop in your brain as the consumer to which at some point it's going to be closed, and we don't know how it's going to be closed, so we have to watch it. The problem with TikTok and Instagram is that they open and close loops in all of, I don't know, 10 to 50 seconds, a minute, maybe at best. When you're doom scrolling, that's why people watch so many videos and they doom scroll forever, is because it's just a constant practice of open loop, close loop, open loop, close loop. And at the end of the day, the faster that you open a loop in someone's head and then close it is honestly the less power that you have over them. And advertisers are realizing this. Meta is realizing this, which is why specifically Instagram has now come out with a new series update. So you can now put reels and posts on Instagram into these serialized, episodic channels of content. I made one today. You can see here on the screen. I show you kind of where that feature is in the app. But the reason this is such a big deal is because when we think about sports sponsorship for a second, from the standpoint of just looking at history, this is an industry that adopts as slow as a tortoise. Like, it is probably one of the most less innovative components of sports today by far. Corporate sponsorship people have been there 20, 30, 40 years in some cases, and they ain't really doing a whole lot of new things. They bring in tech vendors that promise them these amazing, incredible outcomes. They don't really get them most of the time, and they're often late to new trends and moments that could shift the way that they do business. And for good reason, I think. I think most trends that sort of pop up are more gimmicky than anything. But when we see that these short form platforms like Instagram and TikTok, I'm sure will be next, are trying to figure out how they themselves can compete against the Netflixes of the world from a brand sponsorship standpoint too, right? Because Meta makes money off of advertising. It's the number one way they do it. And they're seeing that Netflix and YouTube, for example, that have episodic content are crushing them in ad revenue and crushing them in watch time and retention, and they're now adopting it. Sports partnership people, sports sponsorship people need to be thinking, how do we attach ourselves to this new wave? Because it's going to be the next 2 to 3 years of this, right? If we put an adoption curve up, if you take anything that I'm saying here, within the first 6 months of this video being posted, you will be in the top 3% of adopters in this space. So if you're a sports team specifically, if you are able to go talk to a brand and say, hey, this season we want you to sponsor this new series that's going to live on these platforms, specifically on Instagram, and you're going to get to own the post-game locker room interviews or the shower interviews or whatever crazy content you want to come up with. Marketing teams, please go crazy. You are going to be at the forefront of this industry. You're going to be generating more revenue. You're going to be giving brands a new option that brands they're always looking for new options. They're always going behind your back as a sports team to try and figure out what better ways they can market. You'll be finally giving them what they want. And even if you watch this in the first 3 years of me posting this video, you will still have some information to jump the rest of the teams that are out there. Because if we even think about like the global fan base of sports, not even fan base, if we think about global teams for a second, Like, go east of New York City on the map, on the globe, and you pretty much run into just like a 10 to 15 year delay or lapse in technology adoption, right? So this is a very, very big moment for sports sponsorship people. It's a big moment for, everyone that I think is in and around, marketing and brand marketing as a whole. So make sure, first and foremost, go to Instagram, check out this new feature. Think about how you can move from just posting for the sake of posting to more serialized content, and thinking about how we can continuously open a loop with fans that can stay open for quite some time. Even the piece of content that I gave you as an example today that I made, that's about, right, where the smart money is going in the sports asset class. Even if you watch today's video, it's a daily series. You're going to be thinking to yourself, okay, Dominic will have another video. Should he be alive tomorrow and the day after that and after that and after that? And I constantly need to keep figuring out where the smart money in sports is going, right? So I've opened this loop with my followers, my fans, that now it closes when I stop, right? And Netflix does this in their series, and they close them at the end of their seasons. And sports teams can now do the same, just like that. So if you are a sports team, if you are a brand that's looking to get more or better outcomes from your partnerships, make sure to check out the awesome work we do at Athletiverse down below. If you liked this video, please make sure to subscribe and share it with a friend. It helps us immensely. It helps the channel grow, helps us to find more amazing people like you. Until next time, leave any comments you have down below. We'll see you later.